Welcome to the Good Ride, and today we're talking about the 2025 LibTech Rocket Redo. A pretty mid-widey, very tapered, very directional, set back, easy floating, fun turning, alternative free ride to snow surfy kind of ride. And other than its thirsty base, this has a lot of great things going for it, and let's get into it right now. Now, I got on this board in a wide variety of conditions, everything from some firm, fun snow, and then all the way up to thigh-high powder. I used my Nitro Team TLS boots and Union Force bindings. Just so you know, this is an honest, objective review from an average rider's perspective, and I can do that thanks to the help of our sponsor, Lauer Board Shop. They've been selling snowboards to snowboarders for a long ass time. They're a snowboard only shop, and they're very deserving of your hard-earned money. They have a very strong online presence, so give them a look. It would really help us out. Let's talk sizing. This 57 is about as good as it gets for me. This is a little too wide for my boot size, but felt good for my weight. In powder, this felt great. When conditions started getting tracked up, I felt a little far from the edges. It felt fatiguing to turn all day. Wouldn't be the board I'd want in tight spots or tight tree lines if the conditions aren't clean. This is best for a 10 to an 11 boot. This is a very tapered and directional ride, especially for Mervin, aka LibTech GNU. There's 20 mil of taper, a much bigger nose, and a much smaller tail that then indents in and goes to a very slight pintail. You feel very set back on board with this, especially being 2.5 inches back on side cut. Unfortunately, LibTech doesn't disclose the reference stance. They're basically saying ride it wherever the hell you want, that's fine. But when I have LibTech boards, I basically just size up one in each insert and measure from the center here. And when I do that, I get negative 3.625 inches back from center of board at a 22-inch stance width. Then if I want to set it all the way back, I can get 4.75 inches back from center of board at about a 2.75 inch stance width, which is pretty wide. So I didn't set it all the way back, but if you factor in this really aggressive cut in this pintail here, and you measure from here, it's 5.125 inches back from center of board, and it feels more like that. So it's kind of getting into that snow surf setback world. Then you factor in this camber profile that's pretty much camber to the tail. And then you have a lot of early rise starting just after the inserts here. It starts about right here and really rockers up into this bigger nose. It makes this a very forgiving ride. It's easier to skid turns than most C3 boards out there, but there's still a good bit of camber. So it tracks really well, it one-foots really well, it doesn't feel squirrely. It's not bad for a committed intermediate who knows they want a snow surfy, alternative free ride-y kind of ride. Let's talk side cut and edge hold here. I'm not seeing any real disruption going on, although it did feel pretty competent in hard snow that I rode it in. I definitely liked when I got on the Lib rig that has a mellow disruption. That held better, but this is pretty competent if you're going to see some icy patches on a drop into some good snow. Let's talk flex personality. You can see there's a medium stiff flex. Most of the medium stiff is between the feet right here. You get down into the tail and it's pretty soft here for being so stiff right here. Same goes for the nose. It's really soft in this region right here and starts to stiffen up as you get to the side cut. So it's stiffer in this rocker zone here. And like all Mervin boards, there's good pop, especially for this camber profile. I found it was very easy to butter off the tail and very easy to butter off the nose because there's a lot of rocker happening right here that really allowed me to get leverage and play around when it comes to buttering. And this flex personality did really well in all conditions, especially soft, wet, messy, uneven snow. It's a touch bucky, but it's more on the damper side. So I think most people will be more than happy with this kind of ride. So it's a nice balance between being poppy and handling all conditions, everything from hard uneven snow to soft uneven snow. And it has some dampness if you want a straight line too. Now for a 9, being on a board that's maybe best for a 10, 10 and a half, 11, this initiates a turn pretty quick. So for me, it was medium, but if you have the right boot size, this is going to be medium fast. And when you get it on edge, you're engaging a 7-meter side cut, which is a little different than most of the LibTech boards out there that are more like 8-meter. So you get a much more turny board. It's not going to feel hooky or fight you if you want to go straight, but you can circle carve this and across the groomer carve this very well. And that's where it mainly shines. You really want to lean over that back foot and engage that camber there. I could drive it pretty well off the front foot too and center weight the turns, but overall, I think it likes a little bit more a back foot weighted turn, and the spring out of the turn is very good. And this base, it's thirsty. I waxed it once, scraped it, then waxed it again, then really corked it in. And even then, after one day on firm groomers, the base was dry along the edges here, and I had to wax it one more time. If you consistently wax this, it'll have good, maybe a little better than good glide, but not up there with the best of the best by far. When you get this in powder, this has very good directional float. Even set up on reference, it's very good. If you want a little more landing gear for the tail, it'll be very good there. And if you want to set it all the way back like I do and get more directional float, this did really well. Even on a thigh-high powder day, it might not be all time like some dedicated powder boards, but it's very close, and it's a great choice if you're looking for a board that can ride groomers and also handle really deep days. So overall, man, these graphics are beautiful, but they didn't become less beautiful after I rode this, and that's a good thing. This is a very fun ride. It's a versatile, set back, directional, turny, somewhat surfy ride for those that want great float and powder, but they also want a great directional turner. If you're okay with that thirsty base, this could do the job.